For writing the net cell reaction, we can add the half cell reactions at cathode and anode. Okay, so on addition for the given cell, what we are getting, as we know, anode is oxidized, so where we are using the zinc anode, and in cathode we are using electrolyte of cupric ions. So here active species is cupric aqueous ion, and these are react to form Zn2 plus aqueous plus copper metal. So this is net cell reaction actually. As we know, here oxidation number of zinc is increased, it is oxidized, and for copper it is decreased, so it is reduced, and this reaction is redox reaction. Here we have written this reaction is known as ionic form, and we can write the net cell reaction also in molecular form. So if we want to write molecular form, then we can write in this way, like zinc react with copper sulfate aqueous solution to form zinc sulfate aqueous solution plus copper metal, or we can say solid. And this net cell reaction, or we can say a redox reaction, is highly exothermic reaction. So here we can say it is release the heat, and this heat is converted into useful energy, or we can say in electric energy, by the cell. So this heat released in this reaction is converted into electrical energy by electrochemical cell or galvanic cell. So this is converted into electrical energy. Okay, so what the role of cell? Cell will convert the heat released in the redox reaction into electrical energy. Okay, so you may write either in ionic form or molecular form, both are equally valid, and you can write net cell reaction in any way. And here we can say the sulfate ion is spectral ion, so we can remove from net cell reaction. So here we are getting this reaction, and by looking this reaction we can say many things, like here if you know, zinc is more reactive than copper. Okay, so what is happening in this reaction? Zinc replacing copper, or copper is replacing zinc from its salt?
Zinc is replacing copper.
And as we know, zinc is more reactive and copper is less reactive. So here conclusion is what? More reactive metal can replace less reactive metal from its salt. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And if we write any reaction, if it is even reversible or irreversible, the given reaction is always spontaneous in a single direction, either in forward or backward. Okay, so any reaction cannot be spontaneous in both the direction. So this is also spontaneous in one direction. And what is this direction? When zinc is reacting copper sulfate, it is forming zinc sulfate and copper, so it is the spontaneous direction of this reaction. So what we can say, if we mix zinc sulfate with copper, we are not getting the product, or we can say backward direction, this reaction is non-spontaneous. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for spontaneous reaction, what the criteria? Work done by the cell, delta is negative, entropy change is positive, all the criteria are applicable here. So now we can say many things based on this reaction, like if you are having zinc vessel and we want to store copper sulfate solution into zinc vessel, is it safe to store or not?
No, sir, because zinc will replace copper sulfate.
Because zinc will react with copper sulfates, that's why the zinc vessel, if you are using for storing the copper sulfate solution, the vessel will break, and we cannot store the solution safely here. But if we store zinc sulfate solution into copper vessel, we can store it safely, isn't it? Because it is not reacting.
Yes, sir.
So these are the applications for spontaneity of these redox reactions we are using. And now we are taking the next thing here, that is salt bridge. Here we will discuss about what is salt bridge, and what is the criteria for selection of salt bridge, and what salt bridge we are using, or what electrolyte we can use in the salt bridge. All the things as we have discussed before, we are writing here now. So now we are taking the next point, that is salt bridge. Can you say what is salt bridge we are using in electrochemical cell?
So it is basically a connection which is placed in order to neutralize the excess negative or positive charge.
Okay, great. So what we are using for making this salt bridge, actually we are using inverted U-shaped taped tube. Okay, inverted U-shaped tube we are using, and in this inverted U-shaped tube, what we are filling? We are filling a paste of inert electrolyte with agar agar or any other inert material. Okay, so we can write a salt bridge is a inverted U-shaped tube, and this is filled with any inert electrolyte paste. Okay, so we are using the electrolyte in salt bridge, it should be inert. So what is the criteria for selection of electrolyte in salt bridge we are discussing here? So we are writing criteria for selection of electrolyte or salt, for selection of salt or electrolyte in salt bridge. Can you say what are the criterias? If you know, we are using a salt in paste form in salt bridge, and for that cell salt we are need to say some criteria. So what are the criteria we are to take care?
Sir, but the anion and the cation should have efficient working. That is, the transport number should almost be equal.
Okay, great. It should be equal, or if it is not equal, then it should be approximate equal. If it is exactly equal, then that's good. If it is not, then it should be approx equal. Okay, so first criteria is transport number should be equal. Transport number of cation should be equal to transport number of anion. Okay, and if you know transport number is connected with mobility, so what we can say, mobility of cation and anion should be equal.
Yes,
Mobility
sir.
of cation should be equal to mobility of anion. Okay, anything else? Mobility of anion.
So it should minimize the liquid-liquid junction potential.
Actually that is the function of salt bridge, that will done by actually salt bridge, but here we are discussing about the criteria for selection, which salt we are using in the salt bridge. That is the thing we are to discuss here. So next criteria is the charge on both the ions like cations and anions should be equal. Charge on cation should be equals to charge on anion. Actually it helps to make equal mobility or equal transport number, charge of anion. Okay, got it. And next
Yes, sir.
criteria is this salt or electrolyte we are using in salt bridge should not interfere in the cell reaction. This is the most important criteria. Okay, so it should be inert. What we are writing, it should be inert. Okay, got it. And what the meaning of this? It should not interact or interfere with cell reaction. So you can mention it should not interfere in the cell reaction. Okay, so this is the most important thing we have to take care here. Okay, now some more points we have to discuss here. We cannot use KCl as electrolyte in salt bridge. In which condition? Where KCl is not okay, KCl is not used as salt bridge. In case of electrode or electrolyte are having, in case of Ag plus ion mercurous ion, Pb plus 2 ion are present in the cell. Okay, got it. So now can you say what the reason we cannot use KCl as salt bridge electrolyte in case we are having these ion in the cell as electrolyte or electrode, whatever the things. If these ions are present in the cell, we cannot use this.
So because it will form a salt with the Cl ions, AgCl and
Okay.
HgCl2.
Okay. Then what happened?
So there is precipitation.
Great. And due to precipitation, what is happening? If there is formation of precipitation, then what is happening there? Cell will not work or cell can work still?
No, sir, it will not work.
Why not work? What is happening actually that's stop the working of cell?
So because the potential will be same then.
Okay, actually what is happening as we have this salt bridge. In this we are taking if Cl minus ion, and in electrolyte if Ag plus ion is present, then what is happening? Cl minus is coming here, here Ag plus is present. So these are met at the mouth of this salt bridge. So what is happening here? AgCl precipitate form, and that will block this mouth actually, mouth of salt bridge. And when this mouth of salt bridge is blocked, what happen? The circuit will be incomplete here because it is not connected internally here when this is blocked. So this is the reason why we are not using KCl as electrolyte in salt bridge whenever these ions are present in electrolyte. You got it? In all the ions,
Yes, sir.
these cations are forming, we can say very less soluble or sparingly soluble or non-soluble salt with Cl minus, and that salt or we can say precipitate will block the mouth of salt bridge. That will make circuit incomplete internally, and potential difference of electrodes becomes zero. Cell cannot do work. Okay, got it? So this is the reason
Yes, sir.
why we are not using KCl as electrolyte in salt bridge whenever these ions are having. Okay, now we are taking the next thing. So now if you are having any doubt related to galvanic cell, you can ask.
No, sir.
Okay, so we have discussed all the points for working of galvanic cell, the parts and all things. Now you may get questions like if we remove the salt bridge from the cell, then what happen? Can you see? If we remove salt bridge from the galvanic cell, what will happen?
Sir, then the reverse reaction would take place because after some time the potential on both the sides will be equal.
Actually, when we are not connected both the half cell, then what happen? There will not the complete circuit and cell reaction will stop. So cell cannot do work. Got it? To do work, the half cell should be connected or not? There should be complete circuit or not? Here completed not circuit is not completed in case we are removing the salt bridge. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the case when we remove the salt bridge from the cell working will stop, cell cannot do work, cannot give energy. And this question has been asked in NEET exam. Okay, now we are taking the next point. Next point is IUPAC notation. IUPAC notation for representation of cell. Representation of electrochemical cell, or we can say galvanic cell. Actually, IUPAC has fixed the notation for representation of cell. Okay, so we are discussing about that. For representation of electrochemical cell or galvanic cell, first thing we are doing, that is we are drawing two parallel vertical lines in this way. We are drawing these two parallel vertical lines, and these lines are showing the salt bridge. Got it? And now this is the left hand side of salt bridge and this is right hand side. You can decide easily. In left hand side, we mention anode half cell. As we draw the diagram, also in the diagram we have mentioned anode as in left hand side and cathode in right hand side. And in right hand side we mention cathode half cell. Okay, so this is the first thing we are to mention. First we draw two vertical parallel lines. These lines represent salt bridge, and then in left hand side we represent anode part, in right hand side we represent cathode part, or we can say cathode half cell. And sometime you may get the temperature can be mentioned at the top of these two lines. If we are not mentioning, that is okay, but if we mention, that is not wrong. Okay, so this is the first thing you have to remember. Like salt bridge we are mentioning with the help of these lines, as we have written the name salt bridge here, but in representation we are not writing the name, and it is fixed by IUPAC that like when we are using these two parallel vertical lines, these are representing salt bridge. Now for complete representation, then what we are doing, when we are having these two lines, then in this side, or we can say left hand side, just near to salt bridge, here we are mentioning the aqueous species. Aqueous species present in anode half cell, or we can say electrolyte of anode half cell. And if concentration is given, then we are also mention the concentration in the bracket with these species, as we can write the concentration below this species or at after comma of this species. Then after mentioning aqueous species just near to salt bridge and in left hand side, we are drawing one more vertical line here, and this line is known as phase separation line. Why we are saying this as phase separation line, we will discuss. Phase separation line. At place of this line we can use semicolon also, and we can use this line also, both are equally valid. Then after this phase separation line in left hand side, we mention if any gaseous species is present, then we are mentioning the gaseous species here with the pressure if it is given. If pressure is not given, then we are not mentioning here. Then one more phase separation line we are drawing here, and after this phase separation line we are mentioning the solid species in anode half cell. Whatever the solid species, like you are having the anode formed by any solid or any other solid species which is present in anode half cell. Okay, so we can say at the end point we are mentioning the solid. You got it? So these both are phase separation lines. And now we can say why we are saying this line as phase separation line. As you can say, this phase is solid, this is gas, so this line separates two different physical states, or we can say different physical phases. So that's why we are saying these lines are phase separation lines. And similar to this all is anode half cell. Okay, in left hand side of salt bridge is anode half cell, or we can say anode part. Now similar to this, in right hand side we are mentioning the cathode. And how we are mentioning, just near to this salt bridge in right hand side we are mentioning aqueous species here, and with concentration if it is given. If it is not given, then we are not mentioning. Then again we are drawing a vertical line, that is known as phase separation line. Then we are mentioning a gaseous species, if any present gaseous species. and if it is not present then we are not mentioning, and if there is given pressure then we are mentioning the pressure also. If it is not given then we are not mentioning, and then we are drawing one more vertical line, that is phase separation line. Then again we are mentioning here solid, and at the end point we are mentioning the solid, and this is solid which is present in cathode half cell. So this right hand side all components are of cathode half cell, or we can say cathode part. Okay, got it? So this is all
Yes,
about
sir.
representation of galvanic cell, and this is fixed by IUPAC, so we are saying this IUPAC notation, and these two lines which are parallel vertical lines are known as salt breeze. So now what you have to keep in mind, the things which are, if we are having any cell which is not having any gaseous species, then what we are doing, just near to aqueous species we are mentioning here solid species if gas is absent, and same case in cathode part, if gaseous species are absent then after aqueous species, after this phase separation line we are mentioning the solid. And one thing is here, in both the half cell, either it is cathode or anode half cell, the solid species are always mentioned at the end point, either in left hand side or in right hand side. You got it? Okay, so this is the representation of galvanic cell, and this is fixed by IUPAC. As in left hand side we always mention anode, we cannot mention the anode here in right hand side. Okay, now we are mentioning this galvanic cell uh, which we have drawn, for which the reaction is zinc solid plus copper sulfate aqueous gives, sorry, zinc sulfate aqueous plus copper solid. Now which species is oxidized here? Zinc. We can check and we can say it easily.
Yes, sir.
So anode is formed by which species? Zinc will form anode.
Yes, sir.
Which species is reduced here? Copper.
Copper.
So cathode is found by copper here as it is
Yes, sir.
reduced. So now which is electrolyte we are using in anode half cell for this reaction? That is zinc
It is
sulfate.
zinc sulfate.
And what is the electrolyte in cathode half cell? Copper sulfate aqueous.
Copper sulfate.
So now we are representing this cell according to IUPAC notation. Then what we are doing? First we draw these two lines. Got it? Now just near to this salt bridge in left hand side, here what we mention the electrolyte or any aqueous species that is present in anode half cell. So can you say which species from this reaction will present in electrolyte in anode half cell?
Zinc sulfate.
Zinc sulfate aqueous. So here we mention ZnSO4 aqueous. Now you can see, is there any concentration given? No, then we are not mentioning. If concentration is given then we have to mention that also. Okay, so now one
Yes,
more
sir.
vertical line, that is phase separation line. Then you can see there is no any species that is gaseous in anode part here, so we are not writing any gaseous species. Then what we write here, the solid species. Which species is solid which present in anode part here? Zinc. So
Zinc.
here we mention the zinc solid. Got it? Now if
Yes,
we
sir.
represent this only this part, zinc solid, then oblique, or we can say this vertical line zinc sulfate aqueous, then these two lines that are salt breeze, this is known as anode representation, or we can say anode half cell representation. Whenever you are asked about the what is the anode half cell representation, then you can just write this part only. Got it? And similarly, uh, from this salt bridge, the right hand side part is cathode representation, and you can mention that also. So now we mention cathode half cell. Can you say which species we mention here in just near to salt bridge in right hand side?
CuSO4.
That is electrolyte present in cathode part, that is here copper sulfate aqueous. So we mention here copper sulfate aqueous. Okay, then phase separation line, vertical line, or we can use semicolon also.
Copper solid.
Then we are using here copper solid because this is not having any gaseous species. And now you can see in both half cell what is happening, the solid species are at the end, isn't it? So it is correct, and this is representation of complete this galvanic cell. And with the help of this representation we can identify which electrolyte we are using in anode half cell, which electrolyte is used in cathode half cell, which species will form anode and which will form cathode. All the information we can get with the help of this representation. Okay, here we have written the molecular form of reaction. If we have given ionic form of reaction, then we can also represent the galvanic cell in form of ions also, where we can remove the spectator ion species. So if you are given the reaction like zinc solid plus cupric ion, that is aqueous, gives Zn2 plus aqueous plus copper solid. We can represent the species in ionic form as well, and that is also equally valid. So what we are doing here, we mention the electrolyte part in anode, that is Zn2 plus aqueous. Then phase separation line, this is zinc solid. Now here which species we are using, Cu2 plus aqueous, and then phase separation line and copper solid. So this is the representation, and these both representations are equally valid. Either you can represent by this representation or this, both are equally valid. Okay, and if you have given any concentration you can mention it here, and sometime you may get the temperature is also mentioned above this two vertical parallel lines or salt breeze, that is also correct. Okay, so now I'm giving some question to you. You are to represent that cells. If you are having any doubt till now, you can ask.
No, sir.
Okay, great. So next question is, if you have given a reaction this is redox reaction given, and for this reaction you are to represent the cell. Can you represent it?
Yes, sir, doing.
Okay, do it.
Done, sir.
Okay, so tell me what you have represented. First we
Fe
make
solid.
salt breeze, then at this place what we write?
Fe plus 2 to the left side.
Okay, great. Fe2 plus aqueous. Just mention the phases also. Then we are using
Fe
a
solid.
separation line, and here we are using Fe solid. Great. Then here
H plus aqueous
S plus aqueous, done.
and H2 gas.
And then phase separation line and H2 gas. Here we are writing H2 gas. Sorry, H2 gas. And here concentration and pressure are not given, so we are not mentioning here. Okay. Now what is happening? In this cell actually you can see the both the species which in which one is gas and one is aqueous. So what we can say, we cannot form any metal rod or like rod with the help of any aqueous or gaseous species. So which species will form cathode here? That is hydrogen. But in case of any cell which is having all the species gaseous or aqueous species, we are to make a representative road, and for that road what we are using the representative, or we can say inert material. In that situation we are using platinum rod as a representative rod. Okay, so in this cell actually this is not complete representation, and we are to add platinum also. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so what is the complete representation here? You are to represent here pt solid with this cathode, and now this is complete representation. So you can note it down, like in case of any cell reaction all the species are aqueous or gaseous, then we are using platinum rod as a representative electrode, and as it is inert, so it is not taking part in the cell reaction, just we are using for making the electrode. Okay,
Yes, sir.
now this representation is complete representation here. Okay, note it down.
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay, then one more point we are to discuss here. If you are having any reaction in which more than one species which are aqueous or gaseous present in any half cell, then how we are representing the cell? Like we are taking the example, if you are having the reaction like Fe2 plus aqueous plus H plus aqueous gives Fe3 plus aqueous and H2 gas. Now if we want to represent this cell, then what we can do here? So do you know about it? How can we represent this cell? As you can see in anode part, ferrous ion is oxidized to ferric ion, so both species are aqueous. No one species is solid here, so we cannot form the anode with the help of any aqueous or gaseous species. So again we are using platinum metal rod as representative electrode. Okay, and one more thing here we are to discuss. First we make these two lines, then here if we want to represent aqueous species, then in anode half cell there are two species present, Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus. So which species we write first and which we write in left hand side? Can you say?
So we will be writing Fe3 plus, and then to the left hand side we will write Fe plus 2.
So actually what is happening here, the sequence doesn't matter, do remember. Even you can mention Fe2 plus aqueous in left hand side or right hand side. From left hand side of this salt bridge you can mention in any sequence, both are correct. Okay, so either you can write Fe plus 3 here and Fe2 plus here, both are correct. And here sequence doesn't matter, you can mention sequence not matter. Okay, got it? So do
Yes,
remember
sir.
this thing. Now this reaction, as you can see, it is not balanced. Okay, if we balance this reaction, then we can write 2s plus here and 2 here also for electron balance. And if you know, we are not taking the stoichiometric coefficient in representation, so you can note it down this point also. The stoichiometry of reaction is not mentioned in the representation of cell. And now what species we are taking here? Can you say? As you can see in anode half cell, both
Platinum.
the species are aqueous, so we cannot form the rod of or anode with the help of aqueous species. So we are to use here an inert electrode, that is platinum metal electrode, and that is known as platinum inert electrode, or we can say platinum representative rod. Okay, so now for cathode of cell, there are two species, one is aqueous and one is gas. No any species is solid here, so here again we are to use platinum inert electrode as representative rod. So now which species we are mention? S plus. As you can see, we are not taking this 2, so stoichiometry is not considered in representation of cell. So here we are writing the S plus, then phase separation line, then H2 gas, and then phase separation line and PT solid. So this is the representation. So here you can note down the two things: the stoichiometry we are not considering the representation of cell, and sequence of these ions doesn't matter here. Either you can write first Fe2 plus or first Fe3 plus, both are correct. Okay, and one more point you can mention here: if any cell is having all the species aqueous or gaseous, then we are to use platinum metal rod as representative rod, because platinum is inert and it is not interfering the cell reaction. That's why we are using platinum here. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now I am giving more example. You are to represent that cell also. Sometimes you may get the reaction in which some more ions are present which are not taking part in electron transfer, but these are present with the reaction. Okay, so what is happening in that case? You are to mention here Mn2 plus this is redox reaction you are given, and you are to represent this cell. Okay, as it is not balanced and we are not required the stoichiometry, so we are not balancing, even we can represent the cell directly without balancing of reaction. So represent the cell given.
Yes, sir, done.
Okay, so tell me, first we draw two vertical lines, and that is salt bridge. Okay, now which species coming here?
Fe plus 3 aqueous, Fe
Fe.
plus 2 aqueous,
Okay, great. Fe2 plus aqueous, and between two species you can use the comma. So Fe3 plus aqueous,
and platinum solid.
then phase separation line, and then
Platinum solid.
platinum solid we are using here. Great. Now in right hand side or cathode half cell, which species here?
Mn plus 6.
Mn plus 6, or actually this is existed form of Mn. Even you can write Mn plus 6, but you can write this species as which is established in this form. So MnO4 2 minus, and then
Mn plus 2
Mn plus 2,
and platinum solid.
and then platinum solid. As you can see here, we are not mentioning the S plus and H2O here, or sulfate also, isn't it? So what the
Yes,
role of
sir.
these species? The sulfate ion is spectator ion here, S plus ion is taking part or spectator here.
It's just a spectator, sir.
Actually it is not spectator ion, it is giving the acidic medium to this reaction. What is the role of S plus here? It is giving acidic medium to this reaction, and in acidic medium Mn2 plus 2 form is stable. So for stability of product it is necessary. So there is role of this S plus here. This provides acidic nature to this solution. Okay, as
Yes, sir.
electron wise it is not participating with the electron, but it is giving acidic medium. Okay, then here you can say we are using platinum inert material electrodes. Both electrodes, anode and cathode, are formed by pretty solid, and active species are these aqueous only. Now we are taking next question. For the same question, if you are asked about representation of anode, can you represent the anode here? Anode representation. Can you represent anode here for this reaction actually?
Sir, Fe plus 2 plus 1 electron will give rise to Fe plus 3.
No, I'm not asking about the
Sorry, Fe
reaction.
plus.
You have to represent like we are representing the complete cell. In the same way, we can represent the half cell also by IUPAC notation. So for representation of anode, what we are doing, we are making the salt bridge and then we are writing these all species and we are not mentioning the cathode species and it is known as anode half cell representation. Okay, got it. So how we are representing, just write salt bridge Fe3 plus aqueous species comma Fe2 plus aqueous species and phase separation line and then Fe solid. This is representation of anode half cell. Got it? And in the same way we can represent the cathode half cell also. Cathode representation. So how we are representing the cathode? You can say it is salt bridge and from the salt bridge we are to mention in right hand side. Whenever we are mentioning the species in left hand side from the salt bridge, this will represent anode. If we mention the species in right hand side, this will represent the cathode. It is picked by IPC. Okay. So what the representation? You have to write MnO4 2 minus aqueous comma Mn 2 plus aqueous then phase separation line and Pt solid, and this is the representation of cathode here. You got it? And when we add these two representation or we are writing simultaneously both, we are getting the full cell representation. Okay, so you may ask
Yes,
about the
sir.
half cell representation also and you can represent in this way. Now we are taking one more question based on this. You are given a representation of cell and with the help of this representation you are to write the some uh, questions based on this representation. So you are given this representation salt bridge, sorry this is zero charge and this is solid, and then you are given this cell. Okay, now you are to write first question, which species will form anode here. Question number 1. Question number 2, what is electrolyte in anode half cell? Sorry, what is electrolyte in anode half cell? Question number 2. Question number 3, which species will form cathode here for the given cell? And then what is electrolyte in cathode half cell? Okay, question number 5, anode half cell representation. Question number 6, cathode half cell representation number 7, anode half cell reaction, and question number 8, cathode half cell reaction is what you have to write here. And then question number 9, net cell reaction. So these are the questions we can solve with the help of this representation, and you have to solve this. Okay, solve these all.
So for the first one, it will be zinc solid.
Okay, right.
Second one, zinc sulfate aqueous solution.
With the help of this representation, can you say it is zinc sulfate only? Actually, it can be
No, sir, it can
any.
be any salt.
Yeah, it can be any salt of zinc 2 plus ion. So here what you write, Zn2 plus aqueous ion salt. Okay, that can be any salt.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then
Ferrous solid, that is iron.
great.
Then Fe+2, any salt.
Okay, right.
Then for the representation of anode half cell representation, it is zinc solid, then interphase line, then
Okay,
Zn+2, then salt bridge.
okay, right. And
And
you
then for the
can
next
just
one,
break this. You are when remove this species of cathode, you are getting the anode half cell representation, and to represent cathode half cell, just remove the anode half cell species.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, great. Then what is anode half cell reaction?
It will be Zn, which gives rise to Zn+2 plus 2 electrons.
Okay, great. Zn solid gives rise Zn2 plus aqueous by losing 2 electron. Okay. Then cathode half cell reaction.
2 Fe+2 plus 2 electrons gives rise
Okay.
to 2
Why
Fe.
2 Fe2 plus?
So because in order to balance the electrons, that is lost by zinc and gained by iron.
Okay, actually we need not here 2 of Fe2 plus ion, because one ion can accept 2 electron here. As you can see, the charge is plus 2 here, and on Fe it is 0. So charge difference is equal in both half cell reaction.
Yes, sir.
So you need not to multiply this reaction with 2. This is already balanced. Got it?
Yes,
As you
sir.
can see, this is plus 2 charge, this is 0. So what is the difference? 2. So we are getting 2 electron for this, and similar for anode reaction, it is 2 electrons. So in both the reaction, electrons are equal, so these are already balanced electron wise. Now what is
Yes,
net
sir.
cell reaction?
Zn plus Fe+2 gives rise to Zn+2 plus Fe.
Okay, great. And you can get the net cell reaction by addition of these two half cell reaction, and in addition to reaction, you have to add the left hand side with left hand side and right hand side with right hand side. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now in net cell reaction, you are to find the number of electron in balanced net cell reaction actually. So what is the balance, what is the number of electrons in balanced cell reaction? We are represented with
2
the help
electrons.
of n actually. And so what is the value of n for this reaction? That will be 2. Okay, got it? Actually we need
Yes, sir.
this information also. So if you are asked about what is the n here, what is the number of electron transfer in balanced cell reactions, and that is 2 also. Okay, great. So you can get these information with the help of representation of this thing. Okay. Now we are taking one more question here. If you are having a reaction like silver solid plus Cl minus gives AgCl solid plus electron. Can you say this reaction is oxidation or reduction reaction? or it is redox reaction? What kind of reaction is it?
I think this will be a redox reaction, but there's
Can you
precipitate
explain how
formed.
it is redox?
So because the oxidation number of this Ag, it is going from 0 to +1.
Okay, great. So for
And for
Ag, what we
Cl,
can say, Ag is oxidized here, isn't it?
yes sir.
Okay. Then
Then for Cl minus, it's going from -1 to +1.
no, it is not plus one here. If you ionize the AgCl, in what ions you are getting, Ag plus and Cl minus or not?
Oh sorry, yeah.
So what kind of this reaction is?
This is oxidation
It
reaction.
is oxidation only. This is half cell reaction, that is oxidation type. Okay, great. And in this reaction, actually what is happening, for most of the cases you are getting the salt that are very soluble salt, but in some time you may get the salt that is sparingly soluble salt, and here AgCl is having very less solubility, so we are saying this as sparingly soluble salt. Okay, so in case of sparingly soluble
Yes
salt,
sir.
we have to write the reaction in this way, and we have to calculate the things based on this also. We will discuss this also in detail. And now if you are to represent this half cell, can you represent it? Can you represent this cell?
Trying sir.
Okay. As it is half cell reaction, so you can represent only half cell here. And whatever the reaction, as you can see, it is oxidation. So what half cell is formed by this? That is anode.
Anode half cell.
Okay, great.
So it will be Ag solid,
Okay.
then interface line and Ag plus aqueous and salt bridge.
Ag plus aqueous. You can write this as, but at this place you are getting Cl minus aqueous, isn't it? There is no Ag plus here. So if you are mentioning the reaction in this way, then how can we mention this question? Like Ag solid gives Ag plus aqueous plus electron. These both reactions are similar or different?
It should be similar sir. But
Okay,
then there's Cl.
these are the different reaction. Actually here the species that is oxidized is similar, but here we are getting the AgCl solid, that is sparingly soluble salt, that is different from very soluble salt, and that's why what we are getting, if you know, we are getting the solubility constant for AgCl solid for the sparingly soluble salt, and that will affect the electrode potential. So we are getting the different electrode potential for both the reactions, and these are the different half cell actually. Okay, the species that is getting oxidized is similar, but due to this presence of this sparingly soluble salt, this becomes different because it is having different electrode potential. So now if you want to represent here now, then what you are getting, the net representation, you can say the Ag plus, but actually for this reaction you have to represent this species also, which is sparingly soluble. And how we are representing, here we are to write here Cl minus aqueous. As you can see in this cell, the aqueous species is only Cl minus, isn't it? And we have to always write the aqueous species just near to salt bridge, either it is anode half cell or cathode half cell. Okay, great. Then what we are doing, then we are taking a separation line or interface line. Then here there are two solids, so we can represent the solid in this way, like it is AgCl solid, and between these species we are taking the comma like Ag. Either you can take the comma or oblique, both are the correct. Okay, so this is the way we are representing, like here we can use the oblique also, or we can use the comma also. So this is the representation for this half cell, and for this half cell we are representing just by similar way. Ag plus aqueous species is present here, and here only Ag is solid, so this is representation for this cell, and these both are the anode half cell. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So you may get the questions like this also, and we will discuss these things in detail later. And now we are taking the next thing. Next, as we can now represent the cell, and then we are to calculate the actually cell potential. And for cell potential, we are to discuss about the electrode potential first, and then we are taking the formula for cell potential calculation. So now we are taking the heading, that is electrode potential. And for this we are using the symbol E. Okay, if you know, the E symbol is also used for other parameters. Do you know, like electric field is also represented by E. Okay, so it is different from that. Now can you say the definition of electrode potential?
So the difference in potential between the electrode and the electrolyte.
Exactly, so that is the electrode potential. Okay, and one more thing you can add here, in standard condition it is known as
Standard electrode potential.
standard electrode potential. Do remember this thing. Now this electrode potential can be of two types. Okay, the type number one, that is known as oxidation potential. Okay, oxidation potential, and this is represented as EOX, we can say, or we can mention the species also, this that we will discuss later here or again. And then number two type of this will be known as reduction potential. Okay, reduction potential, and reduction potential is mentioned as E ret. Now if you are given only the term electrode potential, then IUPAC has fixed for this, whenever it is not mentioned like electrode potential is whether it is oxidation or reduction, then you are to take always the reduction potential. Do remember. Okay, if it is not mentioned or if it is not given in the reaction, if you are given the reaction that is oxidation, then you have to take the oxidation potential. If reaction is reduction, then you have to take the potential given with that will be reduction potential. But if it is not given anything, reactions or like that, and you are just given the term electrode potential and value is given, then you have to take reduction potential. Okay, so it is the convention fixed by IUPAC, and just remember this. Whenever it is not mentioned, you have to take electrode potential as reduction potential. As we know, in standard condition, it is known as standard electrode potential. Similarly, in standard condition, this is known as standard oxidation potential, and this is known as standard reduction potential. Got it? And
Yes,
standard
sir.
electrode potential we are mentioned by E naught, as standard oxidation potential we are mentioned by using symbol E naught oxidation. Okay, and similarly standard reduction potential we can say in short SRP, as mentioned by E ret. Okay, so these are the symbol we are using. In normal condition we are using the symbol E for electrode potential. In a standard condition we are using the symbol E naught. Do remember, this is not power of E, just remember this is known as E naught. Okay, and as you have known this thing, like electrode potential is electrode potential difference between electrode and electrolyte, and if it is created due to oxidation, then we are saying oxidation potential. If potential difference between electrode and electrolyte is created due to reduction, then we are saying that reduction potential. So these are the definition of these potentials. Now how can we represent these symbols for reduction and oxidation potential? We are taking that, if you are having a reaction like Ag solid gives Ag plus and losing electron, so what kind of this reaction is? Oxidation. And
Yes,
for
sir.
this reaction we are writing oxidation potential. The oxidation potential of this reaction we are mentioning by symbol in this way. as E Ag solid oblique E Ag plus aqueous. This is the symbol we are used to mention oxidation potential for this. Okay, and generally we are not mentioning the solid and aqueous. We can take directly Ag oblique Ag plus. That is fine, but the correct representation or full correct is we have to mention the phase as well as its species also. And how do you know is it is oxidation or reduction potential? Just check here the charge on Ag or oxidation number is 0, here the oxidation number Ag is plus 1, and it is changing from 0 to plus 1. So what is happening? Oxidation. So this symbol is for oxidation potential. Okay, now what about standard oxidation potential? If we want to write the symbol of this, then the symbol will become E naught Ag solid oblique Ag plus aqueous. This is the symbol for SOP. The full form is standard oxidation potential. You got it? And in the same way we can
Yes, sir.
represent the reduction potential also. And for reduction potential, if we write the reduction reaction, then we can write this reaction also as Ag plus aqueous give accepting electron will produce Ag solid. And now we represent here reduction potential. It is mentioned by symbol E, then Ag plus aqueous oblique Ag solid. So this is the symbol for reduction potential. And in similar way, if we want to represent SRP, standard reduction potential, then symbol will be E naught Ag plus aqueous oblique Ag solid. So whenever you are given this symbol and some value is written, then you have to identify what kind of electrode potential is given here. And just E is written and value is given, then that is given electrode potential. And if it is not mentioned, then we have to take that as reduction potential. It is fixed by IUPAC. Okay, whenever it is not mentioned. If it is mentioned reduction oxidation, then there is no problem. So these are the symbols. Now I'm writing a reaction for which you are to represent, you are to give the symbols for oxidation and reduction potential. So question is Fe3 plus electron gives Fe2 plus. Okay, both are aqueous. For this reaction, you have to write what is the symbol for reduction potential. As this reaction is reduction reaction, so we can write reduction potential symbol as well as SRP symbol. So how we represent the reduction potential of this? Can you say what is symbol we are using for this?
So we'll use E,
Okay, then here
PT of solid.
Fe solid.
No, platinum solid.
Okay, platinum solid. Great.
Then
Then
Fe plus 3 aqueous.
Fe plus 3 aqueous.
Then Fe plus 2 aqueous.
Fe2 plus. This one. Here we are using the
Yes, yes.
oblique or comma, or we can use both.
You can use both.
Okay, great. So this is the symbol for reduction potential of this half cell. And even for mentioning the reduction potential, you may use the PT solid, or you may remove this also, because it is not needed actually in this case. But generally we are mentioning, as we are writing the representation of cell, the same part we are taking here for E. Then what about SRP? For this symbol, we have to add E naught only. Okay, great. So this is the representation for this given cell. Now in the same way, whenever you want to represent the cell, just if you have given the cell like S plus aqueous and then vertical line, then H2 gas, and then PT solid. Can you see which kind of this half cell? Anode half cell or cathode? Cathode half cell. And now for this cell, if you want to represent the electrode potential, when we write electrode potential, then it is always reduction potential when it is not mentioned. So what about the representation symbol of electrode potential here? Can you say
So
E?
it will replace E
H
plus aqueous,
Okay.
then
Public
H2 gas,
H2 gas,
and then platinum solid.
platinum solid. Okay, correct. So as the sequence we are writing here mentioning in representation, we can use here representation of electrode potential also. Okay, now we are taking the next thing, that is cell potential. Cell potential is represented by E cell, and do you know the definition? And one more name we are also used for cell potential, if you know, it is known as EMF of cell. Okay, the symbol for this we are using E cell, and EMF is having full form electromotive force of cell or cell potential, both are the same thing. So what is the definition for cell potential here?
So the difference in the potential between the electrodes.
Great. Difference of potential of electrodes. Can you say for for this definition we have to write the potential difference between cathode and anode or cathode, or we can use the both?
I didn't understand, sir.
Actually, whenever we want to define the cell potential, then we have to write the definition like difference in potential of electrodes. It is correct. But if we want to mention which electrodes is subtracted from which, like cathode from anode or anode from cathode, so which will be correct?
Cathode from anode.
Cathode minus anode. Great. So definition of cell potential will be potential difference between, or we can say electrode potential difference between cathode and anode is known as cell potential. Got it? And now one more definition we can use. If you know, do you know the electrical work formula? What is the formula for electrical work? Work done equals to Q into V or not?
Force into displacement.
Q into V. And here at place of V, we
Yeah.
are using the E as cell potential or electrode potential difference.
Yes,
So
sir.
potential difference is E cell here. So how can we define by using this? If we are using Q as plus 1 coulomb, then what is E cell? E cell will be work done
Equal to the work done.
by magnitude, isn't it? Okay, so we are using this one. So by using this thing, we can define the cell potential also. So how can we define the work done by the cell to circulate unit positive charge in complete circuit is known as cell potential. The work done by the cell to circulate unit positive charge in the complete circuit is known as cell potential. So this is the one more definition for cell potential you can remember. And other definition we have discussed, that is the electrode potential difference of cathode and anode is known as cell potential. Then in standard conditions, what name we are using for cell potential? It is known as standard cell potential.
Standard cell potential.
Okay, great. And standard cell potential is mentioned by E naught cell. Do remember. Okay. So now this is the definition. Then we are taking, according to definition, what is the formula for calculation of E cell? This will be E of cathode minus E of anode. And when we are mentioning just E, that is electrode potential. So electrode potential of cathode minus electrode potential of anode. This is the difference of electrode potential which will give cell potential. Or we can write this formula as E cell equals to reduction potential of cathode minus reduction potential of anode. Okay, we can mention in this way also, or you can write as the reduction potential of cathode plus the oxidation potential of anode, as if you know, for any species, like any species M is converted into M plus, this will electrode potential or oxidation potential will be equals to E M plus oblique M. Have you got the meaning of this?
Yes,
For
sir.
a given species, we can write both the values oxidation and reduction potential, and for the same species the oxidation potential is minus one time of reduction potential of that. Okay, now you can rewrite this equation in many forms, like at least for reduction potential of cathode you can write the oxidation potential of cathode also, that becomes minus one times of E reduction of cathode. And you can rewrite this equation as E cell equals to E, as you know, cathode half cell is right hand side compartment or left hand side.
Right.
So E R H S minus E L H S. This is also the formula for calculation of cell potential. Okay. Now, if we want to write the formula in standard conditions, then the cell potential becomes standard cell potential. So it becomes E naught cell. Then what we write? E naught reduction of cathode minus E naught oxidation of anode. And here when we are using oxidation, then we have to take here plus actually, because minus reduction A will be equals to minus one time of this. So this is the
So in case of standard, the temperature will be 298 and the concentration should be 1 molar, right?
yeah, we will discuss this thing also here. First we are writing this formula, then we are discussing that also. Okay, so in normal condition, if you are calculating the cell potential, then you have to take the reduction potential and oxidation potential also in the same condition. But when we are getting when we are calculating the standard cell potential, then you have to take the SRP and SOP. Okay, you
Yes,
cannot
sir.
take here like reduction potential of cathode and oxidation potential of anode. You have to take in the same condition, like if it is standard condition, these are also in standard conditions. Okay, now we are discussing what are the standard conditions in thermodynamics we are using. So you can remember these standard conditions also, these are used in this chapter as well as in thermochemistry also. So what conditions we are taking as standard, we are mentioning here. In standard condition, actually standard pressure is 1 bar, and before this we are using 1 atm also, and 1 atm is nearly, or we can say approximately equals to 1 bar, so it is exactly 1 bar, but still we are using 1 atm because there is no much difference here. But whenever if you are getting any question like what is the standard pressure, and you are getting both the option like 1 bar and 1 atm, then 1 bar will be correct. And this has been changed by the IUPAC, if you know, before 2 or 3 years back. So this is standard pressure. Then standard temperature we are using here, it is standard pressure, that is actually given temperature. The definition for this will be given temperature in thermodynamics. And if you are talking about STP or then SATP, then it is fixed. Okay, and standard ambient temperature, that is we are using as standard temperature in thermodynamics, that is 298 Kelvin. Do remember. Okay, otherwise the standard temperature can be we are taking any given temperature, but when we talk about the standard conditions of temperature and pressure, SATP or STP, then in SATP standard ambient temperature is 298 Kelvin, and standard temperature we are using is 273 Kelvin, 0 degree centigrade. So it is what we are using in thermodynamics standard condition, that is standard ambient temperature. Okay, got it. And here in electrochemistry, we are using standard pressure at 1 bar and standard temperature at 298 Kelvin. Then concentration, or we can say standard concentration, is 1 mole per kg, that is 1 molal. We can write this, or we can write 1 small m. This is not 1 meter, this is known as 1 molal. But in practice we are using 1 molar concentration, because for very dilute solution the molarity and molality are approximately equal. That's why we are using 1 molar as a standard condition in questions, but actually it is 1 molal. Got it? And this question has been asked in the NEET. You got it? This, the actual standard
Yes, sir.
concentration is 1 molality, but in practice or in for questions we are using generally 1 molar. Okay, so these are the standard condition we are using in thermodynamics as well as in electrochemistry. And you remember, at place of 1 bar we are still using 1 atm as a standard pressure, but it becomes 1 bar, and by taking 1 bar some calculations are changed minutely. Okay, now one question we are taking. We have discussed about electrode potential that can be of two types. Okay, oxidation or reduction potential. This is represented by E. Can you say the properties of this electrode potential, whether it is extensive or intensive property, whether it is additive or non-additive property? What are the properties of this electrode potential? Because some questions we are getting in which we are to need these information also.
So it's additive.
It is additive. No, it is not additive actually. It is intensive property. Okay, do remember. If you don't know, then intensive property. And when it is intensive property, then what about this? It is non-additive in nature. Okay, so we cannot add or subtract directly the electrode potential. As you can see, we are subtracting in calculation of cell potential. That is different thing actually. Okay, it's taking some condition we can add or subtract, but it is not directly added or subtracted. You remember, it is intensive and non-additive property. This electrode potential is, for example, if you are taking any example like for Fe gives Fe2 plus, and the cell electrode potential or oxidation potential is given, suppose 0.44 volt. Okay, now for the same reaction, if we multiply this reaction with this 2, what about E? Here E not actually. Standard electrode potential. Can you say the value?
It will remain the same.
It will remain same because it is non-additive property. It will be also 0.44. Got it? Now, if we reverse this reaction, then what happen? What is E naught here?
Minus 0.44.
Minus 0.44, as this reaction becomes now reduction, and before this it was oxidation. So for any couple of species we can write both the value oxidation potential as reduction potential, and this is the relation between them. Okay, now if you are having any doubt related to this, you can ask. Otherwise we are taking one more question here.
No, sir, got it.
Okay, so now I'm giving a question to you. We are given E naught Zn2 plus Zn, and that is minus 0.76 volts suppose. Can you say which kind of this standard potential, SRP or SOP or reduction potential or oxidation potential?
SRP.
It is SRP of zinc. What we are saying this as SRP of zinc or SRP of Zn2 plus?
Reduction potential of zinc.
Standard reduction potential of, we are saying this as zinc or zinc plus 2 ion. Which will undergo reduction actually here? Zinc will undergo or Zn2 plus will undergo reduction?
plus 2, Zn plus 2.
To remember, this is fully known as SRP of Zn2 plus ion. Okay. Now we can write SOP also, and for this symbol will be this one. And can you see the value here?
Plus 0.76.
Okay, great. And this is V for volt. And now what is the name for this? Standard oxidation
Standard
potential
oxidation
of
potential.
zinc or Zn2 plus now?
Zinc.
Now for zinc. In language we are using SRP of zinc or SOP of zinc. Actually here the species that will undergo reduction, that will be Zn2 plus, so it is actually SRP of Zn2 plus and this is SOP of Zn. Okay. And the similar way, if we write the value of this Cu2 plus oblique Cu, what is this?
Reduction.
Reduction potential of copper, oxidation potential of copper, SRP of copper.
Standard reduction potential of Cu plus 2.
Great. And we can write now oxidation potential also for copper. Okay. Now the question is Zn oblique Zn 2 plus copper 2 plus oblique copper. For this cell, you are to find E naught cell by using these data, whatever the applicable.
It will be 1.1.
Yeah, great. So what is the formula here? E naught cell will be
E naught of cathode minus E naught of anode.
okay. When you are using the electrode potential or reduction potential, then in that case you are taking this one. Otherwise, you can remember. We know at anode the oxidation is taking place always, and reduction is taking place always at cathode. So for calculation of cell potential, you can take oxidation potential of anode and reduction potential of cathode, just add it algebraically, you are getting the cell potential with sign. And if you want to remember the formula, you can remember that also. But if you are forgetting sometimes the formula, then you can remember oxidation is taking place at anode, so take the oxidation potential with the sign plus whatever the reduction potential, take that and add algebraically, you are getting the E naught cell or E cell with sign. Okay, it is always correct. So here if we write the formula, then what we can write, if we write SRP of copper here, then the symbol will be E naught Cu2 plus oblique Cu. Okay, then minus SRP of zinc 2 plus here will be E naught Zn2 plus oblique Zn. Now we are substituting the value. So SRP of copper is given plus 0.34 volt, then minus, and it is given minus 0.76, and finally we are getting plus 1.10 volt. And now here what you can say, E naught cell is coming greater than 0 or positive value. So what is the significance of this? Can you say?
So it is non-spontaneous.
It is spontaneous. Okay, the cell reaction is spontaneous. Cell can do work, cell can give energy, cell reaction is spontaneous. These all things are determined with the help of this. Whenever the cell potential, or we can say potential difference, is positive, then cell can work. Otherwise, if it is negative, then cell cannot do work. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
for
sir.
spontaneity, the cell potential should be greater than 0. If we are measuring the spontaneity in standard condition, then standard cell potential should be greater than 0. Okay. Now, if we write the reverse reaction for this cell, then what we are getting?
Minus
Minus
1.1 volt.
1.1. As we are reversing the reaction, the sign of cell potential will be changed from plus to minus or minus to plus. So this is all about electrode potential and cell potential.